What is up, YouTube? I just took a wonderful shit. It was a nice two-pusher.
Who starts a video like that?
Someone who just came out of the bathroom, I'm guessing.
Hello.
I'm just saying.
What is up, guys? Super Effective 87 here. We're doing something different today, or in this video. If you are subscribed to Leo 6 with Hacks, you probably would have watched his top 10 favorite Pokemon video list, whatever. And we thought it was cool, so we decided to do one ourselves. And at the end, Leo calls out one of his friends to do one of these, and he called out his friend Archizzle9. So at the end, we are going to call somebody out to do one of these. So make sure you stay tuned to the very end. And I want to point out that you should go check out Bob and Fishy's video. He did one of these. I told him, hey, you should do one of these. I didn't know he was going to do it right when I said that, but he did. He only did 7, which is fine. I mean, it's hard to come up with 10. But so yeah, you can go check that out. The link will be in the description. And but without further ado, we can get on with our own list. So Jordan, why don't you go and start it off with your least favorite top 10? The 10th one.
My least favorite would probably be Houndoom and Houndour. I had a pretty hard time figuring out my 10th, but Taylor insisted on having 10. So, I mean, basically the only thing I really like about Houndoom and Houndour is their unique typing and they look cool. That's about it.
Alright. My top 10, or my 10th Pokemon on my list is Jellicent. Now, that may seem weird because it's a defensive Pokemon. But what?
It's more defensive.
Well, it's like saying Torkoal is one of your favorites. Now, I'm sorry if I just offended you, but
Torkoal's awful.
We're gonna like go back on and like right after we upload this video, we're gonna like go on the next day. We'll have like 4 subscribers, all these Torkoal lovers. Anyways, Jellicent. I like Jellicent because it has a freaking sweet mustache if it's a boy, and it looks like the Pringles guy. Everybody knows that. And it has a really unique typing. Like, it's the only one that can have that besides Frillish, but I'm not really going to count Frillish because it's a pre-Evo. And with that typing, it allows it to check things like Keldeo, which is probably the biggest threat right now besides Special Landorus. And it also has Taunt, so it can taunt and burn things like Ferrothorn. And just, it's really all-around great Pokemon. I love it, and it looks cool. But that's what makes it onto my 10th list. Yeah, that's why I like Jellicent. So, go ahead, Jordan.
My 9th would probably be Donphan. And it's pre-evolution. Phanpy, which is, well, Phanpy's fucking adorable. It can have Stealth Rocks and Rapid Spin and
Ice Shard.
Fucking Elephant, yeah, and Ice Shard too. Yeah.
Good reasons.
Yeah.
My 9th favorite, 9th on my list is Honchkrow. I like Honchkrow because it is so, like, every time a Honchkrow comes out on the field in UU, like, part of your soul leaves you. I don't care, you get scared a little bit, just a little bit. Because there's always that hacks that can happen, and it's just so strong, and even if you have something to outspeed it, it can go for Sucker Punch. It is Stealth Rock weak, and yeah. And it does have some hard counters, but the thing about Honchkrow is you can potentially beat those hard counters, like Slowbro, which isn't really a hard counter, so I shouldn't be listing it, but it is a pretty good switch-in for Honchkrow, because if you don't attack it, then it can't Sucker Punch, and if you're at full HP, you can live Sucker Punch. Regardless, though, with Night Slash, you can beat Slowbro one-on-one, and then there's Gligar, and you can probably beat Gligar one-on-one because it can't touch you, and you can Brave Bird crit it. But PokeMMD, Joey, actually made a team with Honchkrow on it, and it had HP Ice, which is cool because it makes it able to knock out Gligar, so you don't have to wait for the Brave Bird crit. It makes a really good lure for it, and then he had Mienshao, which gets wrecked face after Gligar was gone. So, yeah, that's why I like Honchkrow. Oh, and it also looks freaking cool. It's like a mob boss that has a pimp hat, and it's such a good improvement on Murkrow. So, yeah, that's why it makes number 9 on my list. What's number 8?
Torterra. I picked Torterra because well, it was my starter when I played Pearl. I had a pretty hard time picking between Turtwig and Piplup, but Turtwig looked pretty adorable, and I decided to go with a different type between me besides a water type, which was pretty hard for me considering Piplup is a penguin, and penguins are probably my favorite animal ever. But so I decided to go with Turtwig and Torterra, which is the last evolution. Looks like a fucking boss with all the trees and shit on its shell, and I really like its unique typing.
Grass and ground is pretty good.
Grass and ground is, I think it's the only one, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can't really think of any other one. And number 8 on my list is also a grass type. It's Breloom. And Breloom is cool because it's a mushroom boxer Pokemon. They took something that was completely ridiculous and made it cool. And in 4th gen, it could be used as like a sub puncher. It still is kind of used in 5th gen, but now it's more of a Mach Punch, Swords Dance, Spore, that kind of thing. And Spore, it gets Spore. 100% accurate sleep move is really good on a Pokemon. And Mach Punch with Technician just makes it really, really powerful. And I just like the design overall. And yeah, that's why I like Breloom. And it makes number 8 on my list. Number 7 on Jordan's list
is Articuno. It was I tried to pick one of the birds from like those 3 like Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos, and I've had Zapdos throughout like my whole Pearl game, I originally had Articuno, but I was kind of dumb at that when I was playing it and gave it away for Zapdos, which I was pretty upset once I actually got older and started playing it again. But I really like Articuno, and mainly because it's powerful as hell, and it works in hail with 100% accurate blizzards, or in rain with 100% accurate hurricanes, and it's got a lot of special defense. And
yeah, the only thing really holding it back, because it could be pretty good in OU. Yeah, with its monster special defense, it could probably switch. It could switch in on Landorus, maybe fairly easy. I don't know what the calc is, but yeah, Stealth Rock does really hinder it. With the ice and flying. Hey. Number, what are we on? 7?
7.
Number 7 on my list is another cool bird Pokemon. Is Crobat. I like Crobat because you're in the cave, right? And you're walking along, and boom, there's a Zubat. Zubat's everywhere. Every 2 steps, a Pokemon pops up.
Not a TMA reference at all.
And they're just everywhere, and you just hate them. There's so many memes about them just hating Zubat. And you can catch one, and they're pretty weak, and then it evolves into Golbat, and that's still pretty weak. And they just don't really look cool. It's just Zubat doesn't even have any eyes, which I can understand because echolocation and stuff, but still, I want some eyes. Could you imagine Zubat with eyes? That kind of look weird.
I'm actually going to try and Photoshop that.
Dialga eyes, anyways. Alright. But then, in Generation 2, I believe is when Crobat was implemented, they have Crobat. It looks so cool. It has 4 wings and, like, a scary freaking face. Like, Golbat looks scary, but, I mean, they kind of made its animation look dopey and, like, Stadium. And, but Crobat looks, like, pretty scary, and, in Gen 5 or 4 or something, it gets Brave Bird, so it's even more powerful. And then on the competitive aspect of things, it checks almost, like, half of the UU tier all by itself. Shaman, Roserade, Registeel, Gligar, Mienshao, Heracross, all checked by Crobat, just to name a few off the top of my head, and there's probably a lot more. Poison and Flying is just a really good defensive type, and yeah, that's why I like Crobat.
6 on my list would probably be Jolteon, mainly because it's probably my only favorite electric Pokemon besides, like, say, Zapdos. besides Zapdos.
It's gonna be
But
a new. You're gonna give Zubat an electric stone or whatever it's called. It's
yeah.
gonna evolve into Zapbat. Zapbat 2013.
I like Jolteon because well, it's fucking fast. It's the move pool is pretty decent, I guess. And in my opinion, it's the best of the evolutions, and it's pretty cool looking with all its spikes around its head and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why it's number 6 on my list.
Number 6 on my list. I had a tough time deciding if this was 5 worthy or 6 worthy. Because top 5, that's where you're getting into like the real favorites, and there's a lot more in-depth detail. But I put Gyarados on my number 6 list. Gyarados is a giant sea snake, and you have this Magikarp, and you have to evolve at level 20. The only way to do this is like lead with the Pokemon, switch it out, switch it back in, switch it out, because it gets a fighting move or like an actual attacking move at level 15, and even then, it's Tackle, which in the generations it was introduced has 35 power and 95 accuracy, I believe, which is pretty crappy for its only attacking move. But then you evolve into Gyarados, and it looks cool. It's a giant sea snake, Chinese sea snake, and in Generation 5 and today's metagame, it is able to switch in pretty safely on Landorus, Special Landorus, which is a pretty big feat for a Pokemon. A sweeper that can go in on Special Landorus, that is phenomenal. So that's why it makes my number 6 spot.
For number 5 on mine, it's just a regular Giratina.
Giratina A alternate form?
Yeah, that one, whatever. I like it because it's got a lot of HP, so like it basically never dies. It's got cool typing and Shadow Force, which is in my top 3 of my favorite moves in Pokemon, is pretty boss.
And it never dies. I hate it.
I know.
Playing against it in Ubers.
Oh, and then
in our DS battle, that was.
Well, there's a whole thing is amazing.
All right. My phone shut off, and that's my list. So, number 5 on my list. Now number 5, this was almost number 6, but I eventually made it into number 5. Number 5 is Galvantula. I like Galvantula. It was just introduced in Gen 5. It's an electric and bug type. That is a really cool typing, and I like the design of it, and it works really good in UU because it doesn't have to choose between being walled by Gligar by choosing a Hidden Power Grass or a Grass attack, or being walled by Swampert by choosing Hidden Power Ice. It can have Giga Drain and Hidden Power Ice, so it's really hard to switch into, and it also has Bug Buzz, so Umbreon isn't really safe. Umbreon can't really come in, so it's really hard pressed to. You're really hard pressed to find a switch in, and even though Galvantula has base 97 special attack, like shot for shot, 252 special attack, Life Orb Zapdos Thunderbolt, and 252 special attack, Life Orb Galvantula Thunder. Galvantula actually hits harder, like shot for shot versus Zapdos' Thunderbolt. You can calc it if you want. I might have it in the description. But yeah, Galvantula's Thunder actually hits harder than Zapdos' Thunderbolt, which is pretty cool. Base 97 special attack though is kind of weak, but it has the 108 speed tier, which is really good, and it's just overall I like its typing, and I like its design, and that's why it makes it into my top 5.
In my top 4 position, I got Dragonite. Dragonite is just, it's very like
How
it looks.
can you not like?
Yeah, basically.
Like, I was gonna put it in mine, but I couldn't because I knew he wanted to put it in.
Oh, yeah. It looks really cool, and they're actually in a video in the description, which should sum everything up.
Watch that video.
You have to. I like it. Like it was a pretty big challenge to beat it in Fire Red and Leaf Green, which giving me a challenge.
Especially
I really
like Gold
it.
and Silver when Lance had 3 Dragonites. He was like, I got one. You have another one? I beat that one. Another one?
Yeah. It's got a lot of sets that you can choose from to use with it.
In like competitive aspect.
Yeah. So you can. So there's a lot of variations of it and all that, but
yeah.
One thing I really hate about it is that it it's really like immensely. That's the right word, right? Immensely.
What are you trying to say after immensely?
um, week 2.
Ice.
Ice, yeah. That
It's
was right. Yeah,
immensely weak, pretty weak, whatever.
yeah, whatever.
And it's kind of slow too, but you have Dragon Dance to mitigate with
Yeah,
that.
and all the power that comes with it sums
Yeah,
everything up. So I mean,
and it's
yeah,
bulky. If you're slow, you got to be able to take hits.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, number 4 on my spot goes to an awesome Pokemon, Heracross. I love Heracross. Look, I didn't like my top 5 was so hard. Top like 4, 3, 2, 1. That was so hard to pick. Well, number 1, I knew what my number 1 was, but 4 and 3 and 2, I didn't know what to do. That rhymed. I didn't even mean to do it. Anyways, Heracross is bug and fighting, which is already really cool typing, and it just looks cool, like the design. In the anime, it's projected as this sweet Pokemon and eating honey and all that, but no, it's a freaking powerhouse. Megahorn, close combat. In early Black White 2, it was the biggest threat in UU with Moxie and Scarf, and it still is one of the biggest threats, even though Banded Guts outclasses Scarf Moxie. And you can actually use Heracross. It's pretty viable in Ubers, which is probably my favorite tier, because you can switch into Dark Voids from Darkrai, and then you have Guts boosted, Choice Banded Boots boosted, Close Combat, or Megahorn to scare out Darkrai, and nobody wants to take that hit unless they resist it, or like 4 times resist it or something. Like, even Groudon will get to it killed, probably, I don't know. Because I actually haven't run Heracross Nubers. I should, but yeah, it's just a really cool Pokemon, and I love its design, and the typing is awesome. That's unique too, I think. And I just saw a bug. Speaking of bugs, a bug just crawled across my floor. That was weird, creepy. Um, yeah, okay, I've rambled on about Heracross enough. It's just awesome. I love it. All right, top 3.
Victini would probably be top 3. I haven't really played like 5th gen and all that, but when I saw Taylor, you were using Victini once,
Yep.
and he told me to take over as he went and did something, and I kind of owned everyone with Victini, but
Yeah, I was using Scar Victini, and this guy had an awful team, and Jordan clicked V create 5 times and won because I already killed one of his guys. But so yeah,
and Victini's fucking adorable, which yeah, that's good.
then what do I say now?
I'm tired. And it's got the strongest move in the game besides Explosion, but yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, Victini with stab, it's 180 base power, but then with stab it reaches 270 base power, which is freaking strong. The third
Much
on
power just packed in that little thing.
third on my list. This might surprise some people. It's Kingdra. I love Kingdra. It's water and dragon typing, which is only resisted by its dual stab is resisted by Ferrothorn and its pre-evo, and Polion and Prinplup if that's water steel, and I'm probably missing a few things, but those things off the top of my head. In UU, it's really strong. It can go you have a hard time figuring out what set it is before it attacks. It isn't like one dimensional. It could be Specs. It could be Sub Dragon Dance, or it could be Chesto Resto Dragon Dance. It could be a Rain Dance Sweeper, and in that case, it only needs 1 turn, and then your whole team is gone because it outspeeds everything with Swift Swim. And the design is really cool too. Um, I haven't even liked Kingdra up until like Gen 4 when I was playing Heart Gold Soul Silver, and beat, I fought Claire using it, and it was like a powerhouse, and I used it in competitive, and it was just so strong, and that's why I like Kingdra.
Blastoise is number 2 for me, mainly because Blastoise has like a really really good defense, and in my opinion, it's the best out of the 3 starters. Like basically just a Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. That's just my favorite. That's basically about it. Like I usually just use Blastoise kind of to just take the hits and then kind of just wear down the guys, and then I can bring other guys that are really effective against whoever I'm battling, and
And then like the anime, Squirtle was just so cool.
Yeah, Squirtle is sunglasses, Squirtle Squad.
Then in a competitive speaking, Blastoise gets Rapid Spin, Scald. It's hard to switch into because of the burn, Spin, and Foresight to support its team. It's really annoying to face, actually. And it's a pretty good Pokemon in UU. So yeah, good pick for number 2. My number 2, this may surprise some people because, like, I don't know, just surprise people. Number 2 belongs to Gengar. I love Gengar because it has the Ghost Poison typing, and in Gen 1 it actually didn't have Levitate, so it could be hit by Earthquake, but that's beside the point. Ghost Poison gives it the ability to switch in on things like Breloom, and effectively take 0 damage, except, yeah, Bullet Punch is still going to be doing a lot, but it does resist that, and it's immune to Mach Punch, so you can come in and hit it with a hard Shadow Ball, and the design looks really cool too, even though it looks simple, but I really like it. And it was in Gen 1 when it was introduced. It was the only Ghost Pokemon in Gen 1, so it was really cool because it was like mysterious. Nobody knew about Ghost Pokemon, and to get Gengar, you had to trade with somebody else via link cable. So it was really hard to get, and once you did get it, it was a huge accomplishment. It just made you feel awesome. So yeah, that's why I like Gengar. Oh, it can also switch into Landorus really handily too, without taking much damage.
Now
Psychic. Okay, I'm done.
Now for number 1, my favorite
Probably all saw this coming if you've been subscribed to us for a long time.
Probably. My favorite Pokemon, Milotic. Milotic is just probably the most beautiful Pokemon in Pokemon history.
Jordan has a fetish for snakes.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I like one of my favorite facts about it is that not much is actually like super effective against it. I think it's only about like 2 that are actually
Grass and Electric.
Yeah, Grass and Electric. So that just adds to the fact that nothing can really hit it super effectively, and adds to like the defenses and all that. It's got amazing special defense, and its ability Marvel Scale gives it a defense boost when it is status, which deters people from using Toxic and all that other stuff on it, which is what they would normally do to wear down a wall. But this may prove to be counterproductive because Milo gets bulkier when you do this. So just the fact that it is just a defensive monster, I love it.
Yeah, Jordan likes to play defensively. And you can give it rest, so it can actually give itself a status while healing all of its HP off, which activates Marvel Scale. And then you can have it Sleep Talk, so it can even attack. And it's just really hard to take down. Number 1 on my list is Volcarona. That sounded really weird to say, Volcarona, but Volcarona. I love Volcarona. The moment I saw it, I was like, awesome. It's one of the pseudo legendary Pokemon of 5th gen, or the pseudo legendary Pokemon. I guess there's Aurora, but normally you'd expect like a dragon Pokemon or like a dinosaur like Tyranitar, but no, they give you a bug, and its typing is awesome. Bug and fire, that's really cool typing. A flaming bug is awesome. And its design is really cool too. It has like the wings are cool, the white body with the black flecks. It just looks so awesome and majestic and wonderful and beautiful. Yeah, so I really like Volcarona, and it's so strong. It has base 100 speed, really good special defense, so like you can take hits, and its special attack is like 135. I think it's the same as Alakazam, and we already know how powerful Alakazam is. So and then it gets access to Quiver Dance, which can boost its speed, special attack. I just burped. That was wonderful. I'm trying to hold that in. I'm so sorry. Speed, special attack, and special defense all in one move. It's an awesome move. And I already mentioned how it's special defensively bulky, but it has a good HP stat. With no investment, it's 311. And you can invest into its defense to be able to take some physical hits and set up on some resisted hits like Sizzle or Bullet Punch. Its superpower, stuff like that, and give it Roost. And it's in the sun, it just decimates everything. And I made it. The only thing holding it back from going Ubers or being suspect is Stealth Rock, which takes away half of its health every time it switches in if Stealth Rock are up on the field. And despite all of my love for Volcarona, I've never been able to make a successful Sun team with it. Until now, I did make a successful team with it, and I'll probably showcase that in a PO Live by myself or something. But yeah, that's why I love Volcarona. So that's going to conclude our list of favorite Pokemon. We hope you enjoyed. This is something different that we wanted to do on the channel. It allows us to, I guess, sort of connect with you in a different way that is just narrating a battle or talking about an LP or something like that. So yeah, if you did enjoy, leave a like, leave a comment. We love reading comments. It just every time we get a comment, we're like screaming little girls, except we're not, because we're okay, men, yeah, menly, we're menly. My outros suck.
Yeah, you just ramble
your
on.
intros suck, and my outros suck. We should like meld together to be perfect human.
Thanks.
For the person we're gonna be calling out, we're gonna be calling out our good friend Quillykins, also known as Rick. It's your turn to do this, bro. So go ahead and tell us what your top 10 Pokemon are, and do it quick, and I'm gonna be like hassling you every day when this is uploaded. So yeah, once again, hope you enjoyed, etc., 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 blah. Like, comment, sub, and later, guys.